Morning folks, Jer here with your news for Friday the 26th of August, and there's a little bit floating around. Not all transfer related. We'll get into transfers. Players have been linked with Leeds that could be going elsewhere, and some information on coaching setups and Liam Cooper and some other things within the club as well as the third kit. We'll briefly talk about the third kit. Ben Burton Diaz, Everton are said to have bid £15 million for the player. Blackburn want between 20 and 25. They're holding out for minimum probably 17 million. Wolves, Bournemouth, West Ham, Southampton and Leeds are all said to be keeping an eye on it. We've got to ask ourselves why all these teams are still looking at Ben Burton and not actually buying him or putting any bids in. There's no official offer from any other club bar Everton. They are keeping an eye on it. He could be third or fourth on everyone's list. That could be the case. They've got better targets they really want, but he's there if they need a goal scorer. So we'll wait and see what happens in the next couple of days with him. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. Shea Adams, Ralph Hasenhüttl has said the player is categorically not for sale and is their player and going nowhere. Hardly surprising given the start of the season that Shea Adams has said he's scoring goals pretty easily at the moment and has looked decent for Southampton. I think we saw against us as well. Does he really suit the Leeds style of play in terms of pressing? Hold the play, yeah. Pressing, don't know. But it looks like he's going absolutely nowhere. Sasa Kalajdzic also linked with Leeds this week. Looks like Wolves are trying to put a 20 to 25 million euro bid in for a player. Manchester United and Everton are keeping an eye on this player as well. And Leeds are said to be keeping an eye on it as well. He would be a player that if you went to Wolves might free up movements for other people. This could be the start of the dominoes that have been talked about. But we'll get to that in a sec. Kywagner. It is looking increasingly likely that the Kywagner move to Leeds will not happen in this window. This is not from a lack of trying from Leeds or from a lack of interest. Jesse Marsch is very keen on the player and has wanted to bring him to Leeds. However, Philadelphia Union are top of the Eastern Conference and are pushing for the playoffs and feel like they can win the MLS Cup. So that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on over the next couple of days, next couple of windows. It might happen. He said it could still happen in this window, but right now it's starting to look more and more likely that it's not going to happen. But it's from a Philadelphia point of not wanting to let him go right now. So, in terms of incoming, Hwang Hee Chan. So he has. I said yesterday that I would be disappointed if he was the main player that Leeds were bringing, another player that Leeds were discussed. And I'll clarify my statements on that. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a good player. I said that yesterday. And if he signs for Leeds, I'd absolutely get behind him and support him. No questions asked. What I was saying yesterday is I don't think he fits the mould and what Leeds said they were looking for. Age-wise, being a Premier League striker, you know, he hasn't done that in the Premier League. He did have his best season in 2019-2020 under Jesse Marsch, where he got 16 goals and 22 assists. It's a different league, but that's not to say that he can't do it in the Premier League under the right manager. I think he's been linked with Leeds, similar to how Minamino was linked with Leeds, where they're looking at players that did well under Marsch, struggled in the Premier League, but might get a second wind under someone like Jesse Marsch again. It's going to be an interesting one. I just don't see that one happening. I really don't. I don't think it's the player. I could be really wrong. And if I am, I'll hold my hand up and say I'm wrong. But I don't know. Moving on then. Cody Gakpo has been linked again with Leeds today and Manchester United. Mainly on the basis that PSV Eindhoven are now out of Europe and can't play in it. He had said himself that he was willing to stay at the club should the club be in Europe. And he would have a coffee with the management if it didn't. They haven't. Daily Mirror reporting that there's a £40 million price tag on his head now, which would be Leeds' record signing by a considerable margin. That's why I don't think he'll come to Leeds. Man United are keeping an eye on him, and it will be interesting to see what happens with Cody Gakpo in the next couple of days. It is looking like he may leave PSV, but where he goes, we don't know yet. So, moving on to some players within the club. Cody Drameh is Leeds are willing to look at loan moves for the Cody. What has been said is Sky Sports saying that Marsch has been impressed by him. They've had some tough conversations around playing time and him wanting to play. He wanted to stay at Cardiff last year and play more games this season with them. But Marsch wanted to have a proper look at him and bring him back into the squad. I think what we can see from the cup match during the week is he's a decent player against the League One opposition, but he's probably not at the Premier League level just yet. That's not to say he won't be. I think he will be. But there is a huge amount to be gained from sending him back out on loan, getting him a full season in the Championship. The more games he plays at competitive level, and we know how competitive the Championship can be, the better it will be when he comes back to Leeds in the future. So, wait and see what happens there. Fingers crossed. Keep going. A lot of stuff to get through. Getting along. So, Liam Cooper. So, as Liam comes back to the squad after getting a first 45 minutes under his belt in the League Cup, Jesse Marsch was asked about him. He said he will play a big role for Leeds and that he has been flawless in training since he has come back. He said in terms of his mentality, professionalism and as a leader, he is the best he has ever seen and he will be needed by Leeds. I've been critical of Liam Cooper at times for being a little bit rash at times and diving in and Cooperisms, I suppose they're called. But there's no getting away from the fact that he wears his heart on his sleeve and he gives everything for the club and he loves Leeds. So, you know, it's understandable when you hear those things being said about him, why managers have always put the captain's armband on him. So he's got a job to get back into the team though. Cock and Llorente being okay. Llorente has his own moments of rashness, you know, like reverse nutmegs through players on the edge of our own box. But they're doing well right now, so it's hard to see if he'll get back in just yet. But when he does get back in, you know he'll bring a level of stability in there. If you can be a bit calmer around his tackles, that would be great. In terms of behind the scenes, Cameron Toshack's role has been slightly fleshed out a little bit more by Jesse Marsh. Basically what he's saying is that the coach has moved to more individual work with the players. He does a lot of work on tactical, nutrition, physical and psychological work with the players on an individual basis, and that he does a lot of work with the set plays as well. And already we can see that he's having making an improvement on some of the players, and we've definitely benefit from that. He said his role will grow and change, and the set play has been a big part of what he's done, but he has been a vital part with Leeds so far, which is great to see. Archie Gray got his GCSEs yesterday, so well done to Archie. Some positive news from him, so well done, Archie. Welcome to the grown-ups. Enjoy it now in the real world. And now we're going to talk about the third kit. It is up on screen now. It's a third kit, and it's pretty much a free hit for a lot of people. It's been very divisive as Leeds change strips have been over the last couple of months. I'm not a huge fan of it. I won't be buying this one. It's not for me. It's probably for a much younger generation than it is for me. I think it's a very nice Wolves kit. I think it would be a lovely away kit for Wolves. I'm not so sure about us. Every now and then I'd like to see Adidas lean into our history. They did it in the first year with the blue and green stripes, and it was a cracking kit. I'd love to see them do more of that. It's on screen anyway. You can get a close-up look at it as well as the full kit as well. Material doesn't look overly, premium to me in the picture that you can see, but it's a third kit. Somebody said, how do we do the Leeds salute? Where am I doing? This way. How do we do the Leeds salute on the badge if the badge is in the middle? It's not over your heart. The badge is supposed to be over your heart. I'm not a fan of centre badges. I've never liked them. I don't. I saw somebody do a mock-up with the badges squared, and it looks actually a bit better. It's just that line in the middle throws me off. Not a fan. I'll stick a question in the community tab. Let me know what you think of the kit. It's been really divisive online. It's a third kit. It's pretty much a free hit. You can do what you want. What I have seen online is that anyone under the age of 30 seems to love it. Anyone over the age of 30 seems to despise it. So it's, different audiences, different generations. So that's a new, slightly longer video today, but a lot of stuff I wanted to get through today. Not just transfers. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.